distinguished Toastmaster. He is a 3-time District 47 Table Topics champion. He is one of 10 finalists at the 2017 World Champion of Public Speaking Contest in Vancouver. Ooh, that's pretty big.
Yes.
Godfrey is a motivational speaker, author, Supreme Court mediator, trainer, personal coach, Bible teacher, and resolution specialist. He is a professional mediator appointed by the Supreme Court of Jamaica and is a published consumer advocate. He has authored 4 books, including You Have Got All It Takes to Succeed and Put Him Back, America. Fellow Toastmasters, please help me welcome distinguished Toastmaster Godfrey McAllister.
They said we mustn't say thank you at the end, so I'll say it at the beginning. Thank you. All those who have come here to hear something about me, please raise your hand. I am happy. I am so happy. Because I would have told you that you're in the wrong place. This morning we'll be talking about you. And if I use myself as an illustration, forgive me. It's the best one I know. We'll be talking about you. And so the first message is that the world is ready for you. The world is ready for you. And when I say the world is ready for you, I'm talking about any accomplishment that you consider to be out of the norm. Any accomplishment that you consider to be out of your comfort zone. Any accomplishment that you say, well, perhaps somebody else can, but not me. I'm too black, I'm too white, I'm too tall, I'm too short, I'm too rich, I'm too poor, and the list goes on ad nauseum. If that's where you want to be, congratulations, you have arrived. But if, perchance, just perchance, if you want to become the very best that God intended you to be, if you want to say to God, look, you invested so much in me, I'm going to say thanks to you the best way I know how to, which is to become excellent in anything I do. If I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be the best doctor. A lawyer, the best lawyer. I once told my students that I can never be unemployed. Because if push comes to shove, I will jump on the back of a garbage truck and work as a... And one child said, garbage collector, sir. I said, no, don't you dare call me a garbage collector. I said, 2 weeks on the road. When they look at how clean the streets are, when they look at how impeccable my service is, they will say, he is not a garbage collector, he's a garbologist. So it's really not about what you do, but how you do it.
Yes.
It's not about what your profession is, but how professional you are.
Yes.
And I'm here to say to you that God has given me and has given you all that you need to succeed. And the fact that that's the title of my first book is coincidental. But yes, you've got all it takes to succeed. Bob Proctor came after me and he made it more concise. He said, born rich. I left it at that. We're saying the same thing. The world is ready for you. Are you ready for the world? And I doubt that by the time we are finished sharing the next couple of minutes, I doubt that if you were not ready when you came in, I don't think you'll be ready when you leave. But I sincerely hope and pray that you'll be a few thoughts closer to being ready. I hope and pray that you'll be a few thoughts, a few mindsets closer to becoming the very best that you can be. And that's how I define the top of the world. There can only be one Donald Trump. Thank God. Would you like 2 Donald Trumps?
No, thank you.
I didn't say that. I just said, thank God, there's only one Donald Trump. And guess what? There's only one Godfrey McAllister, okay? And you can call yourself by your name. There's only one of you, thank God. What that means is that there's space for you at the top. Because your place is there. Nobody can take it. Tell me, what do faith and fear have? Naughty girl. She said there are 2 F words. No, that is not what I was referring to. In addition to that. Fear and faith.
Belief?
Yeah, well, faith means belief, right?
They require actions.
What about this?
Yeah, no.
They both form foundations for our feelings. Is that powerful?
Yes.
You see, some of us, our feelings, by the way, pause. Can I see all those who have feelings? Okay, I see one man with his hand down. I see 2 men with their hand down. You know, when I was young and dumb and stupid, a little bit more dumber than I am now, I used to associate emotions with women. And then I became a student of neuroscience. So I slapped myself for being so stupid. Yeah, we're all emotional creatures, huh? And our feelings matter a lot more than we think they do. And that's why the commercial people and the advertisers, they take us to see. Because they know how to manipulate our feelings. They know how to put us in a guilt trip. They make it a science. Our feelings. If our feelings are informed by fear, my Bible, and if you have a better Bible than mine, use yours, okay? No, I'm serious about that, actually. I can only quote the one that I know. My Bible tells me that fear hath torment. Can anybody, any psychologist here? Am I right or am I right? Forget the Bible now. Am I right or am I right? Fear hath torment. Da 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 da. I am fearful. Never. Never.
No.
Fear has torment. And if your feelings are founded on fear, you'll be afraid to walk, afraid to talk, afraid to go forward, afraid to become the very best that God intended you to do, afraid to fulfill your dreams because you're afraid. Afraid they wouldn't like you, afraid they wouldn't diss you, afraid they wouldn't that you, afraid. And all you do is inhibit your performance. And at the end of the day, you'll become a product of your feelings. Faith, on the other hand, simply means belief. Huh? In the Greek word is pisteuo, and it simply means belief or to believe. And of course, the key thing is not just faith, but in what you place your faith. I can sit in this chair with a fair amount of assurance that it's going to hold me up. I wouldn't do that with some plastic chairs. And if I had the size of, let's see, who's the, no, leave that alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. No. If it's a man, I will take my chances. But no. I'm going to talk. When you believe, that makes a difference. One of my mantras, I have 2 mantras. One of my mantras is consciously conceive. Sorry, whatever you consciously conceive and ardently believe, you will inevitably achieve. And I mean that. 2 years ago, 1 year before I came to America, I was competing for the first time in the international speech contest. And I put on my door, I mean my front door, world champion of public speaking. So somebody said, who was the world champion? I said, me. They found it funny. I don't blame them. They hadn't seen me become the world champion. They still have not seen me become the world champion. So I don't blame them, but that's okay. It's not about how they see me. It's about how I see myself. So the key is, how do you feel about you? Pause a while and answer that question to yourself. Because I wouldn't know whether you're speaking the truth or not. How do you see you? What are your limitations that are holding you back? Is it your color? Is it your lack of color? Is it your height? Is it your whatever? How do you see yourself? If you don't see yourself as a champion, you will never prevail. If you see yourself as a conqueror, you will be conquered. If you see yourself as a conqueror, you will conquer. How you see yourself is critical. And so I say stop, look, and listen. You know, one of the things that I like to walk around with, if you saw my semi-final speech, you know I'm not lying. I love the mirror. Because the mirror tells me that too late. Too late. There's a hair sticking out there. Can I borrow your shoe? Oh, forget it. The mirror tells me not necessarily what I want to see. The mirror says that I am not necessarily who I want to be. The mirror says you are what you are. And this is how the world perceives you. So get it, suck it up and deal with it.
That's right.
Don't break the mirror. Fix whatever. And so life is full of mirrors. Sometimes our best friends are mirrors. They got to be really best friends though.
Yes.
Anybody here ever suffered from bad breath?
Yes.
Was it your best friend who told you?
Yeah.
Oh, great. That's a very, very, very best friend. Usually they don't. Best friends come far and few between. Hey, what are enemies for? They will tell you.
Yeah.
And before they tell you, they'll tell everybody else, right?
Yes.
Well, best friends and bad friends, they're both mirrors. They help us to find a reference point into which we can look to see ourselves. Stop, look, and listen. And be honest. And be honest. What do you see in the mirror of life? And I didn't realize that was Barack Obama until I put the slide up, sorry. What do you see in the mirror of life? I hope you don't see Barack Obama. I don't think any of you is Barack Obama. Thank you. What do you see when you look into the mirror of life? Here's one of my favorite passages in the Bible, Numbers 13, verse 33. We saw the Nephilim. These are the descendants of Anak, came from the Nephilim. We seem like grasshoppers in our eyes. Everybody read that, please. We seem like grasshoppers in our eyes. Now, what's the descent? What's the descent into destruction? And we look the same to them. Now, how on earth could they know how the giants saw them? How could they know how they looked in the eyes of the giant? It was all in there? Yeah. Oh, yeah. The mind, big place. We looked the same to them. A lot of times the people that we are afraid of, perhaps are more afraid of us. Any ladies here who like lizards? You ever spoke to a lizard? He's scared of you. I know that doesn't do good to your mother. But lizards are probably more scared of you than you're scared of them. But we tend to telegraph our own fears. We look the same to them. That's when we begin to disintegrate into the doldrum of dejection, because our concept of ourselves affects what we see. Look at the size of this guy. Look at the size of this guy's hand. That's a grasshopper there, okay? Now, how on earth could a man be afraid of a grasshopper? But they were. And then they said that they felt that giant saw them as grasshoppers. I like this guy, do you?
Yeah.
It's okay to be a cat.
That's right.
Just don't be a pussycat.
That's right.
Well, pussycats are okay too. But I think the point is that, as far as he's concerned, I got enough cat in me to be a lion. And I'm sure he goes around, oh, no mouse wants to mess with this guy. Because apart from being a cat, he says, mouse, what is this? is gone. The Right Excellent Marcus Mosiah Garvey, National Hero of Jamaica, and not Bob Marley, because we think Bob Marley originated the words. We are going to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery, for though others may free the body, none but ourselves can free the mind. And so the chains may shackle us. Social chains, economic chains, spiritual chains, any kind of chain may shackle us. But only we can free our minds. And there's no law that can be passed. Ask Nelson Mandela. Was it 26 years?
27.
27 years of intimidation and brainwashing. But they couldn't touch his mind. How protected is your mind? What you feed your mind on will determine how resilient it is or is not. Okay, so quick crash course. The 4 Ds to do in getting ready for the world. As I said, you're not going to leave here ready for the world if you didn't come in ready for the world. But make a note of these. Dream. Don't stop dreaming. And if any of you have grandchildren, for God's sake, don't kill their dreams. Let them dream whatever they want to dream. Who dare you? God gave them the dreams. God gave them to you. Don't mess with their dreams. And if you're too old to dream, you're too damn old. And if you're going to dream, thank you, and if you're going to dream big dreams. They're just as cheap. Just as cheap. Desire. In my first book, I defined desire because I couldn't find an adequate definition in any dictionary. To desire something is to become totally and completely obsessed with the idea of having that thing until you consciously and unconsciously unleash all your mental, physical, emotional, spiritual powers in the singular and relentless pursuit of the materialization of that goal. Desire is not a passive expression of wishing and liking, but rather desire is the starting point of all activity, without which our lives will be forever marred in the morass of mediocrity. That's what I mean when I say desire. And by the way, when the Bible talks about desire, you know what the other word for desire is?
Lust.
Lust. Yuck! So when it says that Jesus Christ lusted to eat the Passover with his desire, with his disciples, yeah. Now we know how strong lust is, right?
Yeah.
Anybody here ever lusted? Anybody ever lusted? No. He thought I was asking, is anybody still lusting? All right. Well, if you haven't learned to lust, see me afterwards. Oh, thank God. This is American. All right. Okay, give me a break now. All right, okay. Yeah, so desire. I only got a few minutes, right? So I can't give you the 2-day seminar right now. Please give me. Dedicate. I have to get a D, right? So I chose dedicate. Dedicate yourself to the work that will follow. After you dream and you desire, you got to dedicate yourself to the work. Work will be required.
Yes.
I thank God made it to the world championship. And I do stutter, by the way. Isn't that interesting? I do stutter. I made it to world championship. You know something? I never worked on a speech as much as I did on my semi-final speech in my life. I visited Jamaica and Guyana during the division to district period. And I practiced in clubs in Jamaica and clubs in Guyana. I practiced under the mango tree. I practiced under one of the trees in my yard here. I practice, I rehearse, I practice. It was hard work. But as all of you may know, I'm not the world champion because I was not prepared to be the world champion. I was prepared to be the semi-finalist champion. I didn't have a second speech. By now everybody knows that the judges placed me third at the district. Judges' decision are final. we respect them. So it happened, or God so worked it out that the first place couldn't go. The second place couldn't go. I've never heard of that before. I've heard of one can't go to the next place. I've never heard of first place can't go. Second place can't go. Can you go?
It's for you, it's for you.
I said, can I go? So the result is that I spend the next 2 weeks, this is 2 weeks before Vancouver. So I spent the next 2 weeks fine-tuning. I was conceited enough to be smart enough not to give the same speech I gave at the district. I trusted the judges. So I worked on my district speech and put in what you would have seen, and so thank God the judges this time figured that it wasn't too bad. And then deliver. So you're going to dream, you're going to desire, you're going to dedicate, and then you are going to what? Deliver. Don't stop before delivery. Have you ever been pregnant?
Yes, sir.
Wow, with that gorgeous figure, wow. Whoa, wow. Wow. And when black people brush it, that's serious thing, you know. You were pregnant for 9 months.
Yes, sir.
And you had a 9 months, what you wanted to do?
Have the baby.
Yeah, deliver.
Yes.
You know, this is a push it out. Said, would you like to come out, please? Okay, stay in some more. No! Get out! All right. Okay. All right. I guess I pushed too hard. All right. We got to deliver. We're going to dream. We're going to desire. We're going to dedicate ourselves by working, do whatever it takes. But then we must deliver. If when it's time to deliver, you can't deliver, tough luck. So I made it to the world stage. Well, I am a table topics champion, they said 3 times. So I know a little bit about table topics. So what did I do? I did a 5 to 7 minutes table topics on the world stage. That's what I did. I did not a speech. I didn't expect to win. And it's the first time I didn't feel bad about failure, because I knew I did my best. So don't be surprised if I'm again trying to get to Chicago. I have a debt to settle. So, and I'm 66 years of age, you see. Can't take too long, you know what I mean? All right. Don't travel alone, please. We gets the job done much better than I. Don't try to do it alone. Mahalia Jackson, one of my favorite singers, says, if I can help somebody as I walk along, if I can help somebody in a word or song, if I can show somebody they're traveling wrong, then my living will not be in vain. Don't judge your life and the quality of your life and the success of your life by the amount of money in your bank account. Judge it by the number of people that you have helped to become better. It's lonely at the top. And if you try to make it all alone, when you get to the top, you commit suicide. As many do, by the way. It's lonely at the top. Take some people with you. So when you get there, you'll have some company. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know what that is? That's how the top feels. This is an actual photograph of what the audience is seeing. See how big the Toastmasters logo is? The stage was 100 feet long. And see how small you are on the world stage? The same thing applies if you climb to the top of the highest mountain. You see the mountain, they can barely see you. So that's okay, it's a very humbling experience. At the top, you always look small. Always look small at the top. One of the things I throw in a little bit of, I throw in some broth here now. One of the things that we learn in Toastmasters is work your stage. Anybody here knows to work the stage? Work the stage? So I say to you, you want to learn how to work the stage? Do you want to learn how to work the stage?
Yes.
Don't work the stage. Work the audience. So when I was on that 100-foot stage and there were people way to the right and people way to the left, I wanted to communicate to those way to the right. So what do? Common sense. I try to get as close as possible to them, right? And I don't want to fall off, so I stop here. That's the end of the stage. But I also want to speak to those across there, right? So what do? Well, I don't have a choice, right? I don't think about it. But to hell with the stage. I'm not here to speak to a dumb stage. I'm here to show love to people. So I go as far as I can go to this side and hi, okay. But guess what? I just done what? I just worked the stage. So you want to learn how to work the stage? Don't work the stage. Work the audience. This is our mantra in District 47. United we stand. The corollary is what? Divided we fall. Together we can. If you want to make the very best of yourself, if you want to become the very best that God intended you to be, don't try to do it alone. The first person I will suggest that you hook up with is God himself. Not because I'm religious, but because I'm a pragmatist. If you say God did not make you, then fine, don't hook up with him at all. But if you concede that God is your creator, come on, give me a break. If he created you, you think he might have an idea as to how, to help you become the best that you can be? I think so too. When we hold the hand of our fellow man, united we stand, together we can, when we hold the hand of our fellow man. Ladies and gentlemen, as I promised you, if you did not come in here ready to face your world, ready for your world, you wouldn't leave here being ready. But if you remember that first you must what? Dream. And then you must what? Desire. And next one is what? Lust. Lust after what you want. Dream, desire, and then dedicate yourself to what you need to do. And finally, do like my friend here. Push it out.
That's right.
Don't do all of that alone. Make friends along the way. And don't only look for people who can help you. Look at people that you can help. Let's make it a team. For after all, united we stand. Together we can. When we hold the hand of our fellow man. It's been my pleasure to share these few thoughts with you. May God bless you.
Question and answer.
Yes, and I just want to leave a little time for questions and answers because that's where the real. So let's make them short and sweet and I'll try to deliver. Any questions?
Why did you have a second speech prepared?
I didn't have a second speech prepared because I wasn't going to the World Championship. In April, I was told that I lost. So I wasn't going. At the district conference, I placed third, so you're out. And then to make it worse, I learned something else. I did not know until I got there that you could give a speech, you'll give it before. Just not the same year. So the guy who won placed third 2 years ago with the same speech.
Because I know I heard that speech before.
Yes, yes. Oh yes, oh yes. So guess what? Now I have my final speech. Go get your best. Never let it rest. Until you don't get better and you better get best. That's my final speech. I gotta work on the semi-final now. Yes. Any other questions? Well, let's say when there are no questions, it either means the speaker was so damn good or it was one of those.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. Pleasure. We were motivated and inspired. That was very powerful. Thank you. Did you enjoy that?
Yes.
Okay.